When two streets collide, the night Weatherfield changed forever. It is the crossover no one knew they were waiting for, until now. A stunt-heavy, pulse-pounding special episode that crashes together the worlds of Coronation Street and Emmerdale, drawing beloved characters into a single night of chaos, consequence and irreversible loss. From Weatherfield come familiar legends: David Platt, Shona Platt, Tracy Barlow, Carla Connor, faces etched into the emotional memory of British soap history. From the Dales arrive the combustible Dingles and their orbit: Kane, Charity, Aaron, Robert. Their paths were never meant to cross like this. And yet, in the dead of night, they do. Dead being the operative word, a horrific motorway collision will claim at least one life. But in soap, death never arrives alone. Justice, messy, public, and unforgiving, follows close behind. Coronation Street has confirmed that one resident will be forced into a compulsory visit to Weatherfield Police Station. Charged, questioned, exposed. The question that ripples through the cobbles is simple and devastating: who is responsible? A suspect no one expected. At first glance, Becky Swain is the least likely culprit. A police officer, a woman who has lived on the right side of the law for a decade. Yet in this episode, Becky appears almost radiant with relief, the cat that finally got the cream. She has convinced her ex-wife Lisa to reconcile, to begin again abroad with their daughter Betsy. Lisa agrees, reluctantly, her heart already bruised after Carlos abruptly ended their relationship and disappeared on holiday to Lanzarote. Or so she believed. But nothing in Weatherfield ever stays simple. Kit Green and the weight of truth. Detective Constable Kit Green wanted only answers that night, nothing more, nothing less. He kept his police issue mug in his locker like a talisman and worked his cases with the care of a man fixing a clock he loved. Carla Connor's disappearance lay on his desk, cold and unanswered. He followed CCTV fragments, phone pings, and the small, stubborn lies that stitched Weatherfield together. When those threads narrowed toward Becky Swain, the investigation stopped feeling like routine police work and began to resemble something darker, a hunt for a truth he owed not just to the job, but to a friend. A minibus full of lives. Elsewhere, a minibus hummed with the warmth of shared drinks and loosened laughter. Todd Grimshaw stared through a window that refused to confess anything. His hands shook, a new sensation for a man used to survival. Theo Silverton's arrival that evening had unsettled everyone. Like a storm taking its time, his presence lingered beneath the skin. Billy promised to carry Todd's boxes to the car, a small kindness for a man trying not to disappear into himself. None of them knew how close the end already was. Carl Webster's last drive. Carl Webster took a different route home. His past was a knot of rope pulled too tight, and alcohol only sharpened his temper. Debbie's wedding had not soothed him, it had stirred embers, arguments had flared. Words were weapons. When Carl drove off, gripping the wheel and chasing the last promise in the bottle, the rain fell hard enough to smear headlights into ghosts. On the M62, between Hull and home, intentions and accidents lined up like stacked cards waiting to collapse. The second that changed everything. Later, everyone would agree it began with something insignificant. Becky felt her phone vibrate as she drove Lisa and Betsy toward the ferry. The caller ID read simply, Carla. Lisa answered, her voice threaded with hope. Carla sounded distant, farther away than any of them understood. For one breathless second, Becky glanced at the screen. 10 years in uniform had trained her to spot danger. But danger does not always announce itself. That second stretched, fragile, irreversible, like a dropped glass. Headlights flared. Brake lights screamed red. Becky steered with hands that had saved lives before. The road did not care. Impact. The minibus appeared at the crossroads. Billy sang off-key. Todd's voice broke mid-sentence. Theo reached out for something, or someone. Carl slammed his brakes, swerved too late. Metal folded. Glass became rain. Light shattered. The minibus rolled. Becky's car spun, slammed the barrier. Witnesses would later swear they saw Carla in the back seat, having climbed in earlier when Becky stopped by the ladies, frightened, hiding from someone following her. When the smoke thinned, the rain kept falling, indifferent, relentless. Billy was dead. Carla did not move. Others lay between life and silence, a young man who would never sing again, a child destined to grow up asking why. Arrest. The emergency services arrived with practiced speed. Kit was there within minutes. He walked the wreckage with his notebook like a rosary. He saw Becky, not a suspect, but a colleague. A woman who once believed in him when his own mistakes were loud. That recognition cracked something open. At the hospital, wounds were stitched. Silence filled corridors. Lisa clung to Betsy's hand. Becky, who had always solved other people's problems, faced questions without answers. By morning, the press descended. A tragic crash became a scandal. A police officer behind the wheel. The word betrayal traveled faster than facts. Evidence accumulated, CCTV. Phone records. A black box from Carl's car revealing speed and alcohol. The coroner spoke of multiple causes. Midweek, the shock landed. PC Becky Swain was arrested on suspicion of causing death by dangerous driving. Kit stood by as cuffs clicked into place, feeling as though he had opened a curtain to find an emptier world. Aftermath. Weatherfield fractured. Candle vigils for Billy. Anger. Defense. Silence. Becky did not look like a villain under interview room lights. She looked like someone who had been awake when she deserved to be. She told the truth as she remembered it. Carla frightened, the call, the second's distraction. No intent, no malice. The law listened, unsentimental, exacting. Further revelations followed. Carl had been speeding, drinking, arguing. The inquest would later rule the crash multi-causal, a tragedy built from small failures and one or two catastrophic choices. Still, the law demanded a face, and Becky Swain became it. What Weatherfield learned, this was not a story with a single villain. It was a story of people with histories, with flaws, with terrible timing on a strip of wet road. Billy Mayhew would be remembered for his hymns, not his death. Becky Swain would be remembered as the officer who kissed her child goodbye, and later sat in the dock. Weatherfield learned, painfully, that justice and grief move at different speeds. That sometimes the loudest tragedies begin with the smallest acts, a phone call, a bottle, a glance away from the road, and nothing is ever the same again.